Alright guys, I'm going to continue with my thoughts on the presidential candidates video after this one, but today I'm going to make a video and I'm going to call it Why You Should Vote for Trump. Um, I guess there's a variety of reasons, but I mean, in all reality, I guess the main reason is no one else is going to bring true change. I guess if you go with the guys on the right, it's Cruz, who at the start I actually liked. I thought he was pretty good, but he just consistently went downhill. The lying and the fact that he's from Canada, and he might not even be deemed legal to be president, holds me out for if I could vote for him. Rubio is just clearly isn't, like, I guess Trump kind of summed it up best. He clearly isn't fit for the job. He reads scripts. He sticks to it even to the point where people are telling him, yeah, he's sticking to a script, and he keeps repeating the same stuff over and over. Like, it's not even if he's repeating something that's good. Like, he misses a lot of votes. I mean, which puts into question, I mean, is he actually going to care about, or, I mean, do a good job as president? Trump's beating him in polls in Florida. Like, you can't even win your own home state that you're a sitting senator in. Like, can call her quits. Like, seriously. And I guess the big reason why I'm going to make this video is Trump is the only guy who's, like I said, who's going to bring true change. It's either, like, if any other guys on the right come in after they're done, they're going to be thought of like George Bush. If anyone on the left gets in, they're going to be thought of like Obama. And let me be clear, both of those guys are terrible. Obama's worse, but I mean, both of the ones on the left will be an absolute disaster. Like, Bernie Sanders will be 20 trillion in debt. Hillary Clinton's the most corrupt politician in history. Like, I guess a lot of people are probably, I'll just go, like, a lot of the bad stuff people bring up, like, there's clearly an obvious bias. Like, it's kind of, it sickens me to, or it makes me pretty mad when I hear people bring up how they're mad about media bias and group bias and stuff like this, but then the first thing they bring up Trump is they couldn't be any more biased. Like, the media couldn't be any more biased. Like, left-wingers couldn't be more biased. Even a lot of right-wingers. Like, the main reason people don't like Trump is the whole Muslim thing. And a lot of people say, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But what they're not bringing up is both of them were taken out of context, which a lot of people are saying, well, who cares? But what that means is they're biased. They're clearly trying to defame him. Like, the whole Muslim banning, I think most people already even know that he didn't say that. He'd be a temporary, and I mean, if you look at since he said it, it's been proven right time and time again. The whole Muslim registry thing was actually brought up by a reporter, and he said he'd consider it. He wouldn't do it. He didn't even bring it up. So I don't think, I think he said he wouldn't rule it out. So, I mean, it's highly unlikely that happens. And honestly, I don't even know if that's for certain Muslims to be, like, if you're a criminal, you already are technically registered anyways, and if you're highly thought of to potentially be a criminal, to say you could be put on a list, I don't think it's, I mean, there's clearly room for abuse, but there's room for good too. Again, and the other whole reason is that he's supposedly quote-unquote racist. I mean, that's, again, been thoroughly debunked and biased. It's clearly done by media to perpetrate bias and to get them to vote for left-wingers. That's all you ever hear on the news. All the left-wingers are so good for the minorities. Well, Trump actually got just as many Latinos to vote for him as Hillary did. And again, all you hear on the news and the media is how good Hillary and Sanders are good for minorities. Well, if Trump can get the same amount when the news constantly attacking him for being racist, then, I mean, what would happen if they give him a fair chance, let alone lied for the better for him? Like, I mean, if the news was as biased on a good way, towards him as they are towards someone like Hillary, he'd be getting 60-70% in these primaries, literally. Um, really, on the guys on the right, you have Rubio, who is a complete, the stereotypical bad conservative, I guess is the best way to put it. You have Cruz, who's consistently gotten more and more holes in his campaign, and in himself, I guess. You have a criminal, and Hillary's the worst candidate I think I've ever seen. She should be in jail. And you have a socialist who's going to go 20 trillion in debt himself. Um, yeah, that's. I mean, I understand that I'm probably not going to convince a lot of people, but what I hope is going to happen here is that when, or I guess if, I think all the polls show Trump's going to be the nominee as of right now, but if Hillary or someone else gets in, what I hope is going to happen is that some people finally figure out that we can't be keeping voting in these same idiots. Canada's just another good example. We just voted in Trudeau, another complete idiot, but we gotta switch sides every time because it's really trendy to do that, and it's finally gonna be this time, after the how many it's time, we're gonna fall for it. Um, I guess I'm gonna kind of finish off with saying I'm not the biggest. I mean, I'm not a totally sold on Trump. I think he definitely has some things to work on, but none of them really have to do with what the vast majority of people or the reasons why. I guess are the Muslim thing's totally blown out of proportion. The racist thing, total lie. I guess the other thing is that he's some big rich guy who's just worried about being rich. Um, Guys, every politician's bought off. Okay, Trump's at least he's self-funding. Clinton is running the most expensive campaign in history. Rubio's setting records for Wall Street money. Cruz is paid off by some big banks. I mean, his wife works for one. I mean, Sanders actually isn't too bad, but again, he's a socialist. He's going to do 20 trillion in debt. But I guess all the socialists will be, we'll pay it off next generation. Like, just how stupid they are. But anyways, yeah, I mean, a lot of the reasons I don't like Trump too, haven't looked too into. So I think a lot of them are might be overblown. I think the big one they're bringing up right now, I seen the debate yesterday, was the whole he's tax return thing. I mean, again, he says he's been on. I mean, he's obviously been audited before. You don't run such a big company and not get audited. Do people not think that, oh yeah, this guy's got $1 billion company? You don't think there's an outside chance he made it through part of it not paying taxes? I mean, he's obviously been audited. And not to mention, too, the fact that the whole IRS is clearly a bias towards right-wingers, so yeah, me personally, I think a lot of people, why they're finally starting to like him is that they want someone that's finally going to speak their mind, not be scripted, not be some, your typical bought off politician like all the other candidates are. Yeah, it's good to see that the polls are showing that Trump's going to win. I think the polls show he's going to clean up the Republicans. Um, but you never know about the national convention. I guess that's the other thing about Bernie too. I'm gonna make a video about it too. But to all the Bernie Sanders supporters out there, in case you haven't heard, pretty well all the super delegates are going towards Clinton, which means that Sanders is going to have to win probably 65% of the primary and caucus delegates to win, and that's not even considering they might still pull off something shady at the DNC. And right now he's, even if you don't include the super delegates, I think Clinton's still winning probably by a little bit. So Sanders is probably from here on out gonna have to win 70% of the delegates to be safe, and that's the same for Trump too. The RNC clearly wants Rubio. Um, I mean, the mainstream, right wingers. Cruz he's kind of in between a mainstream and a true, true right winger. Like Trump is a little closer to a true right winger. Um, yeah, so I mean, Trump's gonna have to win probably. He's already got a lead. He's probably gonna have to win 50 to 55% from here on out, and he'll be good. Maybe 60, depending on what happens on Super Tuesday. But I mean, all the polls show Trump cleaning up and pretty well everywhere but Texas. I think that's gonna be close. But that's just because Cruz is from there. Florida might be a little close because Rubio's from there, but Trump's still ahead in the polls by like 10 points. So he should win there. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have more videos. I'm gonna have more part twos on my thoughts about all the candidates. I'll probably do a video on after Super Tuesday, I guess, just to give an update. Yeah, so stay tuned for those.